Hey y'all, my name is Shayla Kelly and I am a board member of the Hamilton Regional Arts Center, and I'm over the Education and Outreach Committee, which facilitates the art classes for kids and now teens and adults. So maybe a little heads up on things. Forgive the noise in the background. Usually the classes are held at HRAC, but due to the concerns of COVID-19, all HRAC activities, including the arts classes, have been postponed or rescheduled. Now, here's some pretty cool news. Since the physical art classes aren't being held at HRAC, HRAC will be bringing you content online. So keep checking social media for things. But without further ado, I want to welcome you to the first ever online Z-Arts class, since we're bringing all our content to you via our social media and website. So here's what's going to happen. In the last class that was supposed to happen on March 14, we were going to tackle figure drawing, but due to Corona, that class got shelved. But here's a secret: I do plan on having figure drawing in the summer camp. So yeah. By the way, if you haven't realized by now, I'm also the teacher for the classes at HRAC. So yeah, you're getting a one-on-one. But I'm gonna hop right into our lesson. It's gonna be short. I'm not gonna make it long. I'm not gonna make it the entire length of a normal arts class. So our first lesson, being online, will be turning shapes into a character. And since Easter is kind of right around the corner, can't wait for those Reese's again, I thought it would be appropriate to thump out a bunny. So to be honest, I'm going to show you the bunny that we're going to do. The bunny's not hard at all, so don't go thinking it. Let me show you. That's the bunny. That's the bunny we're doing. Yeah. So don't think you can't do it, because you can. We're going to use strictly shapes to get this bunny hopping down his trail, okay? So with that being said, I am on this screen right here. You see the bunny that's going to be made, but don't fret, don't freak out, guys. I am doing this digitally. I am doing this on my computer. You do not need to whip out an iPad. You don't need to whip out any kind of tablet or some kind of computer to keep up with this. You can do this with plain piece of paper and a pencil. Whatever it is you got to write with or draw with, you can do it on that. So I'm going to quit yammering about this, and I'm going to walk you through how to get this bunny drawn out using shapes. So let me make him a little smaller. So this is my little bunny friend. We need to name Bunny Dude. So let's see. Let me pull. See, the program upgraded, and it definitely has thrown me for a loop, because I haven't been in this program for a little while, and then I downloaded the upgraded version. So I'm going to shrink him, and I'm going to set him over here in the corner. Alright, so I'm going to move this a little bit out of the way too. Alright, so now that our bunny is out of the way, what I'm going to do is talk to you about the things that we're going to use in this. So I shrank the wrong layer, so I'm going to bring that layer back up to size. So now I've got it all set up here and not all looking crazy. So what we're going to use are shapes, and I'm going to teach you how to overlap, outline them, trace them, so you can get what appears to be this bunny walking down this trail holding an egg. So first things first, elements of art. We're talking about shape, and we're going to use shape. So here, shape is one of the 7 elements of art. These elements of art are meant to use, or you're meant to use them as a way to communicate art, a way to be able to describe art, a way for someone to understand art. It's all about the communication. Art's about visual art is about visual communication. I'm so happy about this, I can't even get my words together. So visually communicating takes a lot of things. It takes a lot of elements, literally the elements of art, to help you do that. Shape is one of them. Line, shape, form, texture, color, value, space, all of those like fold into each other to help an artist convey what they want to be conveyed, or what you want to be, or what they want you to see. So we're gonna jump right in. Parents, grandparents, uncles, cousins, sisters, brothers, please join in. This is more or less for the little ones, but definitely if you want to do this too, go for it. So basic shapes, and guys, I am gonna iterate this. I am gonna say this 1,000 times over, and I do this to my own students because I teach art. Draw light till you get it right, because we're trying to block out something before we make it a final piece. You go down with hard dark lines, you're not going to be able to erase your boo-boos or your mistakes. It's okay if you can't. You can, you know, draw over it, try it, make it a happy accident, and make it a fixable happy accident. That can be done too. I do it all the time. But draw light until you get it right. And I'm going to be doing the same thing. My screen is going to show me pressing hard and pressing light. Alright, so back to what I was talking about the shapes. So basic shapes. An artist can see things through shapes. Everything around you has a basic shape to it. Look at your piece of paper that you have in front of you. What shape is it? Is it a piece of scrap paper that you found and it's cut into an odd rectangle, an art square? Is it a full rectangle? Look at the top of the pencil. If you put the top of the pencil straight to your eye and look at it like at the very top of it, you're going to see it's a circle. Your pencil itself is a long cylinder. Don't poke yourself in the eye with the pencil though. I just thought about that. I can see my little ones, my little kindergartners, poking themselves in the eye right now. Look at a cup in your room. It's a circle, it's a cylinder. If you have a CD around, if mom and dad have CDs around, because I know the younger folks don't know about CDs now these days. If you have a CD, it's a circle. If you have a piece of bread that got cut diagonally, you now have triangles. All these things around us have a shape to them. Everything has a basic shape to it. An egg is an oval. If you look at a kite, that's a rhombus or a diamond. A heart is a shape. All those things, rectangles, you have squares, you have cubes, all those things. Now that's what I'm starting getting into form. But basic shapes can be broken down. Anything in your house can be broken down into a basic shape to draw. So, and it's the same thing we're going to do with our bunny. Now, overlapping and tracing the bunny to where it looks like things are in front of it or on the side of it, or like things like that. So we're going to talk about that too. So overlapping means something is in front of something, or it covers it up, covers a portion of it up. So we're going to talk about how that works too. So first, let's talk about those basic shapes. Triangle, circle, rectangle, square, not perfectly, oval. Those are your basic shapes, and those are the shapes we are going to use to make our bunny friend. Alright, so First, I'm gonna show you how to combine shapes to make different and dynamic drawings. So the first thing is, let's break down a fish. Alright, so a fish in a tree. Let's do a fish in a tree. I'm going to start off with a basic shape. So look at this. If I take a triangle and decide to lay it sideways and then put another triangle on the back of it, throw some circles around it, give it a circle and a smile, we've got a fish. Now this was using the same shape twice to make that fish. Kind of static, kind of boring, but it still conveys a fish. It still makes you think, oh, that's a fish, especially if I were to put a little triangle here and do a little curved one there. He's a little more fishy like. You can add little lines to give him detail. Make his fin a little detailed out. Maybe a gill. Now you got a little triangle-y fish. But look, if I decide to take an oval add a triangle to the back of it, a curved triangle to the top, and even put a triangle coming off of his body, overlapping a shape, overlapping that shape, and maybe even a smaller one, half a circle on the front of that, I have a more dynamic combination of shapes, which gives me a more dynamic drawing of my fish. See? Simple. And all I did was combined circle, triangle, oval to give me some more dynamic features. Let me pop out my eraser now. Let me get rid of this one. Now if I took that same triangle, put it upright, and combined it with a rectangle, I now have a tree. And get rid of this fishy now. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take rectangles and circles now and combine them together. I'm going to take a really skinny rectangle and combine it. And I'm going to take a rectangle here and a rectangle here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a really big circle. I have a tree now. And if I wanted to, I can add another smaller rectangle here and add another circle. I have a more dynamic tree now. And even if I wanted to, I can take and add smaller spots to that tree. Now we know that the combination of shapes can give us dynamic drawings and awesome cool results by breaking everything down into shapes and forms like this. So let's talk about that overlapping part. Now we got these out of the way. Let's check it off. Alright, so I just overlapped these circles in these rectangles. Now if I decide to go in and erase those lines that are in between or within the shape itself, depending upon where I erase things, make my eraser smaller. And now I made a more detailed tree. There. I kind of wanted that one to be a little bit more rounded on that side. My tree's a little bit more detailed now. Looks more tree-like. Versus if I take this out too, I get an arrow. But that's just using just my simple non-overlapping dynamic shapes. Now overlapping shapes can make things look like they're behind one another, especially if I get smaller right there. Now if I did this, I have a little caterpillar who might be walking towards you with his feet. Versus if I did it like this. Doesn't look like he's marching towards anything now. So I hope that is a better understanding of overlapping. Now, you're gonna hear my chair move around because I'm adjusting the seat. Let's get to getting Bunny Boy drawn. Alright, so I'm gonna clear this layer off. And let's get started with that bunny. And then we'll talk about tracing. And tracing when we get to that part of tracing. So what I'm going to start with is an oval. I got that oval. I'm going to take and put a triangle, rounded triangle on one side, on the top side, and one triangle on the underside. Those represent his paws. Our oval is going to represent his egg. Now, here's what I'll do next. I'll take and put a small rectangle, small box or a triangle box or a square right there. And then I'll take and do a sideways rectangle and a straight rectangle coming underneath the egg. And I'm going to draw another big oval. I went a little too far down with that one. I want to come up a little bit because I want his foot underneath or overlapping. I'm going to take and draw an oval touching my big oval, one of the oval touching the big oval. And another oval for the other foot, kind of flat on the bottom, like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on top another really big oval. Now this oval is going to be a little distorted because we're forming his head. Just like that. So it's kind of lemony shaped. You know how a lemon is shaped? Kind of like that. We kind of want to get that going. I'll get that lemon shape going. Now I'm going to draw a light line off center, and I'm going to draw, and it's going down the middle of the face, and then across the face I'm going to draw another light line. This is going to help me put his face. These are kind of anchors to place the face. So this will help me place everything else where I want it to go. Now I'm going to draw this rectangular, small rectangular shape, and I'm going to overlap an oval going across. The oval we made for the face. I want this oval, his ear oval, to overlap the face oval. And now I want another oval coming off, just like that, off the top of the head. This oval is stretched out like a rubber band is getting stretched out. We're almost there. Told you it wasn't going to be hard. Told you it wasn't going to be long. So here's what we're going to do now. The details on the bunny. Let's get into his face. Or her face. It could be a girl bunny too. So right where these lines intersect and make a cross or an X, I'm going to draw a rectangle. A rounded rectangle. And I'm going to give 2 circles off the sides of my nose or my triangle, and 2 smaller circles inside. I'm going to give my bunny his smile, and I'm going to use rectangles for the teeth. Kind of like how SpongeBob's teeth are. Now, details. We're going to start building details on our bunny. This is where the tracing is going to come involved. So now, I'm going to take a darker color. For me, you don't have to, because if you're drawing light, this is where you can start pressing hard and doing the, you can push a little harder and get your pencil or pen or marker or crayon. Or if you're using a marker, it won't work. But if you're using a crayon or a pencil or a pen, a pencil, and you were drawing light, you can start tracing harder over these areas where I do the black at, okay? So I'm going to give my bunny some hair. I'm going to do like a curve, like I'm about to draw or write the letter C, in C, and I'm going to come back, and you can actually give your bunny a curl if you want. Let's give this one a curl. And then I'm going to draw up from the hair like this, and I'm going to give that ear its detail. Give it a little bump right there, and then come back down. It connects to the face. It does not rip over and trace over. Don't trace that shape completely. You're going to want to do a subtle connect. Also, when I come down the side of the face where it pinches, where that face is starting to make that sharp turn and go down towards the chin, cheek area, I'm going to take and give it a little tuft of hair, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to overlap that a little bit right in here with that neck. I'm not going to completely trace the head. I'm not going to completely make that head a solid outline. And the same thing with this ear. I'm going to come up, trace over it. I'm going to connect these shapes on the outside, meaning the border, the outline. They're outlining it because we got one ear flopped over, and I want this ear to go over. I don't want to completely connect this. I don't want to completely connect that line right there. And the same thing like what we did on the other side, we gave him that little tuft of hair. I'm going to give him a little tuft of hair on that cheek there. And I'm going to come over and I'm going to connect it to that neck with a rounded corner right there. I'm not going to completely trace it. Same thing with the opposite side. We're going to come back and fill in those details in a minute. So now I'm going to go trace his hands. And I'm going to kind of pull a little line over a little bit right on top of that egg. I'm going to trace the egg. I'm going to make sure it goes over the neck. It's going to overlap that neck, but it's not going to overlap the hand. And now to give the hand some fingers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw these little lines right in the inside, 2 lines in the inside of the hands or the paws. So now that bunny is carrying his egg. And I'm going to continue to trace that egg all around, even by where the foot is, even underneath where his legs are, because he's in front of him. Now his legs I'm going to trace down. I'm going to come all the way down to that flat foot. And with that flat foot, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give 2 little lines to help define the toes. I'm not going to trace that oval all the way. I'm going to stop and then come up right where they connect. Just like that. Now, same thing with this leg. I'm going to bring that leg. I'm going to follow that shape down. I'm going to pivot. And I'm going to give it 2 lines to help define those toes. I'm going to trace around right here. I want the foot to overlap or be in front of the egg. And I want that foot to look like it's coming forward. So I'm going to almost trace that oval all the way close. I don't want to close it all the way. But I'm going to trace the outside of that leg right there. Just like that. Now we can work out some details. See the foot, to show the bottom of the foot, I'm going to start right here and I'm going to bring an oval in like that. I'm going to bring a little stretched out oval in there. So now you got the bottom of that foot. Now what I'm going to do, go in and give him that ear, inside of that ear, just like that. And I'm going to the inside of this ear over here, so it's going to be almost tracing close to the edge of that oval to make the inside of that ear. Now I can give him eyebrows. I can trace my eyes. I can fill in my eyes if I want. Trace his nose. Even fill in his nose if I want to. It's up to you. You don't have to. Doesn't have to be a black nose. I'm not liking the black nose. Let's undo that. Trace his smile and his teeth. Look at that, you got your bunny. Now these details that we need, I'm going to try to wrap a line around. I'm going to use that triangle. I'm not going to draw it all on there. See, if you draw half of that triangle on there, it looks like it's partly coming around that egg. Same thing with this one. You can draw half a triangle on that one. We put dots or spots on your egg. Now here's something we can do to make this bunny. We're gonna put this back. I can't talk. I'm sorry. So we're gonna give this bunny a trail to walk on. If we take and put a line behind him and we add some little sharp triangles, it's gonna look like grass behind him. And if you take and do some zigzags away from his feet, he's got a trailies on now. Now, here's what you can do. We can go in now and erase, eraser's a little too big, those shapes that are inside places where we don't need them to be. I started erasing in these places where all those unwanted shape edges are. We get a clear, concise picture now of our bunny. I like it better with a little tuft of hair like that. That's better. Have a little curl. Looks a little weird, but it's okay. Look at that. Now you've got your Easter bunny. He's coming along his trail. He's got his Easter egg. Oh, let's not forget, bunnies have whiskers too. You can even add a little tail back there if you want to by drawing a squiggly line. Those are little things that give it detail. Alright guys, thank you so much. I hope this was enjoyable for you as it was for me. Got so excited I couldn't talk for a second. Got all my words jumbled up, couldn't word. Again, my name is Shayla Kelly and I am over the education and outreach, and this has been the Hammond Regional Art Center's first ever online Z-Arts class. Guys, please keep watching our social media page for other little art galleries, online galleries, fun things you can do with the kids. I'm hoping to bring some more videos online and get a little better at doing them. So guys, leave your comments. If you do this and you draw this out, please post it. Share your pictures of it on the underneath this posting, or to the HRAC Facebook page. Share it on social media. Check back with us to see when our activities are going to resume. I hope you learned something. I hope it was fun. I hope to get to see some colored ones, and I really hope you guys liked it. Stay safe, wash hands, and keep drawing, keep being an artist. Alright guys, thank you and goodbye.